Here's a wild fact. In just a 10-minute conversation, 60% of people lie at least once. Think about how many times you've said, "I'm fine," when you weren't. Today, we're unpacking why we lie to others and to ourselves, what it's really costing us, and how to start telling the truth with compassion. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to speak your truth without blowing up your life or your relationships. Hey there, I'm 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗡, love alchemist, coach, and perpetual truth teller. And here's what that's cost me. I've lost friends because I've told the truth instead of saying the right thing. It's not easy, but I'd rather be real than resentful, authentic rather than fake. How about you? Over the years, I've learned something very powerful. Truth without safety feels like an attack. That's why I don't call people out. Instead, I invite them in. As a healer and a coach, I guide people gently to their own truth, because when you see it, that's when healing really lands. And that's what we're talking about today. How to tell the truth in a way that heals, not harms. Here's what we'll cover: why we lie and what it costs us, the tiny lie that causes the most damage, and a simple framework for honest conversations that actually works. Now let's start with why we lie in the first place. At the core, we lie for 4 reasons. The first one is belonging. We want to be liked, accepted, chosen. We want to fit in. We also have this tendency for avoidance. We're afraid of conflict or consequences. Third, control. We want to manage how others see us. We don't want to be judged by them. And finally, protection. We think the truth might break something we need, like their approval. But here's the cost. Every unspoken truth, every little white lie, it drains your energy and disconnects you from others. Author Gay Hendricks calls this incompletions, unfinished truths, broken agreements, unspoken needs. And every unfinished truth takes up space in your mind and your nervous system. And when you hold too many of them, you start feeling tired, anxious, resentful, stuck. Not because life is chaotic, but because you're busy holding all your lies together. And here's the thing. You can't be fully seen if you're only half honest. And once you see why we lie, you start noticing the tiny ones that slip out every day. Like the most common lie we tell of all, "I'm fine." We all do it. The fake smile, the no worries text when we're actually fuming inside. It's practically emotional autopilot. We're so used to it, we don't even notice it anymore. Yes, it saves you from an awkward 3-minute conversation, but it costs you real connection. "I'm fine" is the mask we wear when we don't feel safe to need or to be seen. But "I'm fine" is a micro lie, which is still a lie. And every micro lie becomes a micro betrayal to yourself and to your relationships, because you aren't really being honest. Now I get it, but what if instead of saying "I'm fine," you try these truth upgrades? How about saying, "I'm a little overwhelmed. I just need a minute." Or, "That actually stung. Can we talk later?" Or, "I'm not ready to talk yet, but I will be. Can we circle back to this?" See, tiny truths help you build trust in yourself and with others. And they save you from giant explosions later. Now, speaking of explosions, let me tell you about the time I told a hard truth and it cost me a friendship. Because this is where honesty gets real. So years ago, I told a close friend the truth about something that I thought she needed to hear. She didn't see it that way. She got angry at me. She questioned my intentions. She blamed me for it. And eventually, we stopped talking. I grieved that loss deeply. So I sat with a tough question to myself. Did I say that thing to be right? Or really because I loved her? Thinking over it, the answer was clear to me. I wanted her to know the truth because I care about her, and she matters to me, and I want her to be able to have the truth from someone close to her. But I learned something huge from that moment. Truth without consent feels like an ambush. Timing matters, delivery matters even more. And that was something I needed to learn. And yes, sometimes honesty means losing people you love, but that's okay, because you're keeping something more important, your integrity. Now I miss her, but I don't regret being honest. And both things can be true. That moment changed how I see honesty. It taught me this: truth shouldn't break connection. It should deepen it. And if it does break it, maybe that connection wasn't built on truth to begin with. And what I learned next became the foundation of my work. So how do you actually tell the truth without blowing everything up? Well, after working with over 5,000 clients in the past 18 years, here's what I found really works. Number one, always get permission. Ask them, can I reflect something back to you? Because consent lowers defenses and invites curiosity and openness from the other person. Two, get curious. Ask them, what else was going on for you when that happened? Open-ended questions help people see patterns in a very gentle way. Three, hold the mirror. Tell them, here's what I'm sensing. Does that feel true for you? You're offering a reflection, not a judgment and not a lecture. Four, invite ownership. What part of this do you think is yours to shift? Or how did you contribute to this? That's where real healing begins. And five, offer a choice. Given what we see now, what we talked about, how do you want to move forward? How do you really want to show up? Truth isn't about calling someone out. It's about inviting them in. So now you've got the tools to start speaking your truth, but how do you make sure it lands without hurting someone that you care about? That's where this simple framework comes in. Before you start any honest conversation, run this quick 3-step pre-check with yourself. First, check your intentions. Am I saying this to love this person or to be right? If I'm trying to be right, that's just my ego. 2, get consent. Is now a good time for an honest conversation, or should we talk later? And 3, regulate first. Breathe, ground yourself, because truth lands better when you are calm. Then use the truth sandwich. Start with something that says you care, like, I care about you and I want to be honest with you. Then drop the truth. When X happens, I feel Y and I need Z. Then drop care again. I'm sharing this because our relationship really matters to me. Here's an example of it together. Hey, I care about us. When plans change at the last minute, I feel dismissed. I'd appreciate a quick heads up next time. And I'm saying this because I really value you and our friendship. When you speak truth from safety, compassion, and ownership, it just lands differently. It heals instead of harms. And when you start living this way, you stop lying for safety and start telling the truth for your peace. We don't lie because we're bad people. We lie because we're scared. Scared of being rejected, scared of disappointing someone, scared that if people see who we really are, they'll judge us or they'll leave. But here's the paradox. The love and acceptance we're so afraid to lose is the very love we can't fully receive until we're honest. Because honesty is what opens the door to communication, to vulnerability, and real connection with another person. Yes, truth can sting, but on the other side of that sting is relief, freedom, peace. So close your eyes with me for a second and ask yourself, what am I pretending not to know? What truth am I avoiding? What would honesty sound like if I trusted I'd still be loved? That's your real work. Grab a journal and explore what's really going on in your mind and heart. As 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗥𝗦𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗡 said, the truth will set you free. But first, it'll piss you off. Awareness is powerful, but truth needs practice. So if you want to start building truth into your everyday life, start small. These simple practices may feel subtle, but they create massive shifts over time. So do this today. Name one place you're saying, I'm fine. Speak one tiny truth to someone safe. 3, make one repair you've been avoiding. 4, each morning say, one true thing I feel today is, fill in the blank. One thing I need is, fill in that blank. Tiny truths rebuild trust with yourself first. And if you've ever lost someone because you told them the truth, feel the loss, but remember what you kept. Your self-respect, your peace, your integrity. We lie to belong, to control, to avoid, to protect. But every time you choose honesty, you stay true to yourself. Because the truth isn't cruel, it's freedom. And the moment you stop lying, even a little, you start to breathe again. That's the real power of truth. It doesn't just set you free, it brings you back to yourself. If you're ready to start being honest about your love life, take my Love Blocks quiz. It'll show you what's keeping your heart closed and the truth that's ready to come through. You don't have to tell every truth today. Just start by telling yourself the truth. You are loved.